Good evening, RPG Limit Break and Free Enterprise fans! Tonight we have one heck of a race going on tonight. In one corner, we have head engineer ZoeVermilion versus BeautyInDiscovery. I am joined here with Harumph doing the restreaming, the one, the only, the dub word doing the tracking, and my co-commentator, Sheep Launcher. How's it going, Sheep?
Great, Tybalt. It is a really fun night of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, a heck of a matchup here in the Blue Moon Waning bracket. This is best of one, so our runners will be fighting to win. Whoever does not win is out, and they will have a Cecil to assist them in their quest to defeat 7 of these 8 enemies to get the crystal to defeat the big boss at the end, Zeromus. Taking a quick look at these enemies, nothing too obnoxious. Only one sparkle required. That's that pale dim.
Even then, that pale dim's not too hard or difficult to think about, because all he does is just physically hit you, unless you cast elemental magic on him, and then yeah, things can go sideways. I guess the rudeness of the seed all depends on where that Golbez and Alt Gauntlet are sitting.
Yeah, and Leviathan is not a picnic, depending on the spot. For example, in the King Queen Evelyn spot, Leviathan can be very rude with those Ice 2s. The magic power there can be a little obnoxious, but yeah, there's Water Hag and Mylon Z and Octomam, all of which are very manageable.
Yeah, so I wonder where our runners are going to go. I mean, we have Edward for the free key out, and we have a Cecil. And I want to say most people, when they see a Cecil start, it is grab the party members I think I can deal with ordeals and go straight up ordeals. Turn that Cecil into Paladin, and then 80% of the runners, I think, just go straight over to Evelyn. It is T Wildish, so 3 trap just there, 3 shots at a shiny stick.
Yeah, and certainly an early Earth Crystal would be on the table as well. The T Wildish Treasury would have lots of goodies, including a Holy Sword for that Cecil. A pretty good chance of it.
Yeah, I think depending on what loot we end up finding, I think anything less than 40 minutes into the seed and we find an Earth Crystal, we rate that treasury. You get like to the hour and a half mark, and that treasury just doesn't look that appealing. You just want to go, go, go.
Well, the winner of this match will go on to face E-Ninja in the in round 4 of the Blue Moon Waning bracket. But yeah, you were saying depending on that early key item, all of the free character spots are open. None of the earned character spots actually yield a character. So our runners would likely want to fill up that party early, maybe see what Edward has in the bed in Troya, and it looks like our runners are underway. We're glad to have you with us.
Yeah. We were playing with the C no earned, so no package character, no Earth Crystal. We have the power couple as the start here with a samurai bow. Well, that Rosa just got a bit of a power boost.
So Rosa will carry this team early while Cecil waits around to actually turn into a decent character.
It's still early game, so that's what you get into a black sword. If you can, we're playing with C Neki, so there's a chance. There's a 1 in 3 chance this Cecil starts off with the black sword.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. There's always a chance.
Well, if he doesn't have the black sword, then this is an imbalanced couple dynamic. Hopefully they can get through it without being too resentful of each other.
And here's a bit of a spicy question. We're here in Troya. Would you loot what we like to call the public treasury? So you go over to the right, you don't have the Earth Crystal, there's 9 chests over there. Is that something that you think about looting, especially early on?
I loot it every time on T Wildish. I think it's a densely packed place. You need a stack of arrows for that samurai bow. You don't know what Rosa's carrying anyway, but charm arrows, lit arrows, almost worth the trip by itself. And it looks like both runners deciding the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9 quick chests, and even if you don't find anything grand for this party, it's something to sell. Money is going to be huge. I mean, we're running with as standard, so coffins, sirens, hourglass tubes, all those wonderful things could be for sale, and we might actually want those with this particular starting party. I mean, we've got the two best characters that I like to say are in the game.
Yeah. Did find a poison axe in there. Both runners picking that up. A decent weapon for a Kane if Kane makes himself available, which when Cecil and Rosa get together, usually Kane's lurking somewhere around.
At least you think. And Zoe here making an interesting play here, going into the Damsian basement. Not a place you see very many people go to. I mean, T-Waldish, definitely with the amount of chests that are in here. But, I mean,
So
Here's one thing. Go ahead.
the Troya item shops, it only cures for sale. Cure 2 and Cure 1s in the pub shop, and in the regular item shop, Cure 3s. Everything you need, if all you need are cure potions.
We really would like to find camping gear. Oh, hey, speaking of camping gear, both runners have validated their seed and have found, since I'm here, a Charm Claw. I'm happy.
Yay.
Oh,
And a nice heroin robe.
Okay, that's a huge pickup for Beauty. Heroin robe, Sammy. Meanwhile, Zoe finds an edge.
Yeah, free character edge in Damsian Castle. You would like to find something for Edge besides that Charm Claw. Edge, with this Sieneki flag on, doesn't come with 2 short swords, and instead comes maybe with a low-level sword, maybe with a claw. Either way, you need some equipment on Edge before you can really start contributing.
Yeah, and even like that, claws are probably the worst equipment for him. Like a silver knife would be better than a claw for him, just because of his damage calculation. Meanwhile, here, Zoe picking up the second Charm Claw. Also going to find that Heroin Robe here. May loot a little bit farther here in the Waterfall.
Going to find Quake Kid, Palom joining in the in the waterway, and this is a party. You don't need a whole lot more.
Yeah, no, this is a decent party. We got a Quack Kid, which is great. Just need to get him up to Virus or Quake, and we're happy there. How much longer he stays in this particular, party, who knows? We're gonna hopefully here see two party members here on Beauty's side. Ooh, vampires, soap webs. I'm selling a bit for that.
Yeah, loaded Mysidia shop. Did you see what Zoe found underneath the waterfall, which Beauty didn't go back to? A strength ring. Very nice pickup there.
Oh, I see 2 more characters here. Well, we found an old man.
There's our anchor.
No, there's our anchor.
And which one will Beauty and Zoe choose?
I'd actually would probably drop the Rydia and keep Patella.
That's the choice that BeautyInDiscovery makes.
Let me paint a little bit of a picture here for you. Tella, early game. He's got versatility. He's got Cure 2, Exit, Blink. Great. That also unlocks our actual grind option, something like a D-Machine grind. And, we've got Cecil. We find Early Darkness. I think we just drop the Edge and bring in the other mage, and we leave Rydia and Mysidia to Slingshot later on.
Yeah. Certainly an option. And Zoe took a little bit of time to deliberate and made the decision dropping Palom, keeping Rydia and Tella.
Well, I mean, this is a forced hook route, because if we find the hook, we know our underground access, and that Evelyn shop has tier 5 items for sale. There could be a Leviathan for sale. I know Zoe did find a self-summon, which can be great for that early game Rydia.
Yeah, it makes Rydia a decent white mage for the early and middle parts of the game. Beauty did find a stack of mute arrows.
Ogre Axe's middle swords and a black sword. Definitely going to pick up some of that. in here in Silvera.
Beauty did equip that Charm Claw.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
also
didn't have
Black
anything
Belt.
else.
Yeah, it's better than a bare hand. Barely.
Barely. You're getting the extra agility. And in the overworld here, you want the fastest person in the center slot. Edge is going to be the fastest person you have. Find elements here in Antlion. Goodbye, elements.
Yep. No issue there. And Beauty will enjoy the sound of silence.
Well, I mean, second best stat stick for a white mage.
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, definitely will make for a decent transition once that Heroine Robe Rosa stops being your main source of physical damage.
Even then, the Heroine Robe has such great physical defense. I think until we at least find something like Sork Robes or a white shirt, she could wear that for a while. And that silence F kind of counteracts the stat reduction that the Heroine Robe has.
Bahamut is sitting on Mount Hobbs, and Bahamut can just, give counting lessons by himself.
Yeah, nobody there to give counting lessons to. Nobody showed up to class.
Yep. Beauty got to check out the waterfall as well. That's a sparkle. Got to check out what that is. And that is a great spot for Ogopogo, because you never have to come back there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sad for us here in the booth and for chat, because we know the runners don't want to deal with nasty fights, but we want it. It's a great show.
Peace? We hate the word.
Yeah. I mean, we already know that Kinazo's not going to be at Elements, which is kind of sad.
But it appears that in addition to none of the bosses showing up so far, our restreamer Harumph, who rolled the seed, has forgotten to include any key items.
I mean, we really only know one key item check, so I mean, besides our starting key item.
Yeah, and two. Both checked out the bedward.
Oh, right, the bedward. With a ribbon. Yeah, it's a ribbon, silent stuff, and... Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just
all nice stuff.
Just means there's more key items on the moon.
That is
behind
what that
bosses,
means.
Behind bosses you don't have to normally fight.
Well, Baron sent Baigen to invade Fabul directly. BeautyInDiscovery vanquishes that particular problem.
There's already been some changes there in Baron, because we had Kinazo in Baigen's spot, so somebody's controlling Baron. Who knows? Will it be Senator Crocodile?
Could be. But BeautyInDiscovery did find a hook, so 10 minutes in, we have our first button, so that's nice.
Ooh, longsword in Sheila's closet. Great pickup
nice.
from BeautyInDiscovery, not getting Silvera to find those middle swords for sale.
And also found a Dragon Whip and a Blitz Whip for the Iridia that he ditched.
Here we come up. Flame for Edge early on is a great spell for any early game, because it does so much damage. And most people don't realize this, but stick like a couple of Mute Knives on them, maybe a Rune Ring, and that flame. You can do some work for you.
And it punches through walls.
Yeah. So, but so does Sylph.
Yes. And Zoe showing why V picked Rydia for the team.
What's Rydia's favorite gaming console?
What?
Wii U.
Nice. Oh, and there's Kane. Kane getting an early start on redeeming himself, and BD says, go work on yourself in the Tower of Wishes.
Well, I mean, we haven't found a nasty, but we don't know where their Val is. I mean, Kane Kane's Lake Will, as we call, patently average. He really needs, like, an Abel's Lance to really get power. Which, are we going to be forging? Who knows?
Not likely.
The only way I think we've ever seen forges on these flag sets is if we have forge before we go underground.
Yeah, it definitely can't. Doesn't come up often. It's 2 key items. It's not a requirement to do all the time. A lot of times you're just. A lot of times you're not in the mood to check for key items once those would be available. And
did you see what Zoe picked up there in the Chocobo Forest?
I did not.
Oh, besides, accidentally hitting the Chocobo to exit, picked up a defense sword.
Oh, and that's going to be great for that cane that V's about to find.
I'd give it to Cecil.
Yeah.
We got voice snacks for Kane.
And V's thinking about it.
Oh.
Well.
Oh, yep.
Rydia did her part.
Yeah,
Beauty...
V's about to find the Azura up here, which Beauty got through very easily.
Yeah, even though Azura got a Cure 4 off, that Sammy Bow doing boffo damage.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The extra 10 strength. And hey, there's our first boss here, the back attack.
Yeah, that is sushi on the mountaintop.
Though, with our current HP totals, we may actually see an interesting strat here from some of our runners. Especially with Leviathan being here.
And what's that?
Well, the magic here is actually a little dangerous for our HP totals. The only one who could probably survive it is Edge. Now, we can pop a Star Veil and actually reflect the Ice 2's back at Leviathan. However, you just goes, no. Dart.
So, and did you see what Beauty darted?
The hand
that he got from Kane. So Kane is useful. Kane did it, everybody.
Hey, that hand axe came in very handy for Beauty.
Yeah, everybody, let's give Kane a hand. And
but we definitely have darts for this party, so I mean, we're gonna be swell.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be nice. And our tracker, Dubward, pointing out that Zoe actually has 2 defense swords. So, 1 for each of the 2 bros there.
Ooh, we find a pact here in Ordeals.
Very nice. It'll give our runners a good sense of satisfaction. Really increases your late game routing options for finding those bosses. Cuts down on the travel time to Zeromas significantly.
Yes, it does. And it looks like Cecil actually did start with his best weapon, the Black Sword. I know I did see Zoe pick one up, but he already had one equipped. It was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, you can chuck it. Now you have 2 Black Swords you can chuck.
I don't think you can dart the Black Swords.
Really?
Yeah, there's weaponry that you cannot dart at all. Like the Flame Spear and Blizzard Spear can't dart those, but you can dart the Gungnir and Drain Spears.
Sure. Why? Yeah, a well-designed and programmed game. Sure. We have to come up with an in-universe reason for this, and I guess mine would be the Black Sword would collapse on itself, and also suck the Edge's hand into a black hole if he tried to dart it.
Oh, so kind of like, the hole in Moroku's hand, it would happen for that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I always think of it, the easiest way for me to kind of remember is that anything that has an elemental property to it. So, the Ice Brand, Flame Sword, Flame Spear, Blizzard Spear, those all have an elemental ability with them. Drain, technically speaking, it would be like a darkness ability, so I could see it not being used for that reason. But everything else that doesn't, you can dart. sleep really isn't anything, so of course the slumber sword can be thrown.
Who needs sleep?
Yeah. No. Can always sleep later. But
By the
looks
way,
like that.
Dr. Luge in the changing room, great place to find the good doctor because you don't have to hear him talk.
Yeah. You also know something else? That's also came back road. And here's a sad boss. Are we going to hear about justice today?
No, we're cutting down on all of the speaking opportunities.
Yeah, I know. It's sad. It's like we want to hear the characters talk.
Dr. Luge, canceled. Dark Knight Cecil, canceled.
The only one we're going to have is a comedy night.
And King Queen Eblin in the second spot here, a very free Baronin.
Yeah, a lot of the free bosses are kind of just disappearing here.
Yeah.
So, few key items. Free bosses are disappearing. Does that mean the moon's going to be really, really rude for these runners?
Although, we've seen Baigen already, we've seen Ogopogo already, so those are two of the ruder options off the table. But Zoe heading back to Silvera. What does V want to pick up here?
Not sure. I think there's black belts here. Yeah, black belt.
Yep.
I knew there's something for sale.
Yep. V picked one up earlier, but needs 3 to fully kit out the party, and also just had a bunch to sell. And BeautyInDiscovery did pick up the Luca key, an interesting key item on these flags. The warp glitch is on, which means that you don't have to go into the sealed cave in order to get the item from the sealed cave. Because of a glitch in the original game, you can use the warp spell from Dwarf Castle to pick up the Vanilla Darkness crystal. However, there is still a boss down there, and bosses are the currency of the realm.
Yeah, but so it's. I think Aluka's easier to fade on this particular flag set because you're able to get the item from it earlier. It's something that you always want to think about checking, possibly later when you're playing the odds. But I think definitely just getting the item and then leaving and coming back later is a good option, because we only need to complete 7 out of 8 bosses here. And there's the Vanilla Demist.
Yeah, it does not contain a key item on these flags. Bedward does, but that is a required boss. And BeautyInDiscovery will take it down and then loot out Mist Cave. Not all the way, but does pick up a nice coffin.
Hey, that's an easy, not that far out of the way chest. Meanwhile, finding one of the best shops for this party, bandanas and rune rings for sale there in Mist Village.
It's a great piece of knowledge and some great equipment to have.
Oh, especially so we've got all the physical fighters here. Cecil, Kane, Edge. Bandanas and black belts? Yeah, this party is geared to the teeth.
BeautyInDiscovery, as you indicated earlier, heading to Castle Evelyn. You think this is the right play for this party?
Defense sword's great, but I definitely think getting a holy sword, whether it's an Excal or if it's a crystal sword, I'm out. One of those two, I'm out. The option of also maybe finding like an adventure also would be amazing for this party.
Definitely, and the odds of them showing up in Emlyn Castle are very nice. But yeah, no need. This is a party that can take on the hook route with not a lot of additional help. So, you get that holy sword. I think you have to be just thinking you're turning on the afterburners and going.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we get here from the first trap chest. Excal. Yeah, I'm out. That's an instant. Okay, I'm good. Let's go. Beauty may actually decide to stay in here for a little bit longer. Maybe want some levels on that Palom for, Quake or Virus to help out in that hook route. Didn't pick up the cane. Doesn't
Alum
have the
did learn
defense board.
Virus from that fight. But it'd be nice to have Quake.
Yeah. Finds a second fight. It's Black Cat Lady. It's got to be a little careful with these.
Yeah, this is tricky. The Black Cats do bluster if you attack them and don't kill them, so it's imperative that they go down quickly. And in fact, Beauty using a shuriken he discovered in a chest to take them down really heads up there.
Yeah, not something you see very often throwing shurikens. Edge taking the charm here. Missing the Cecil. That was a bit lucky there, but gets through this trap chest fairly quickly and easily.
Zoe picking up Luca key, and that is a crystal ring.
Really
from
good
that
defense
chest.
here.
Yeah, really nice. Really nice.
Yeah. Using the exit here to get out of here faster, whether or not go back in. Nope. I'm good. I mean,
Beauty knows he's got to get going.
Yeah, especially against, Zoe. I know Zoe's been around for a while, and Zoe's got some skills. And Zoe doesn't have the hovercraft down here. Kind of feels a little bad. I wonder why. Maybe since we're right there at Baron V, maybe it's just I'm going to go to Evelyn first, then I'll pick up the hovercraft.
Yeah, it seems a little inefficient, but not a huge deal.
Going for the full looting of Evelyn here. Finds the Mad Ogres.
And Beauty going to check out the item shop here. There are 2 tier 5 items that could be in this shop. And they are Elixir and Leviathan, not what Beauty was hoping for.
No. And I wonder if Zoe's going to feel a little bad for ditching that Rhea going, oh, well, there was Leviathan down here.
Sammy arrows for sale.
Sammy arrows and a charm rod. I mean, this is... Okay, you definitely want to pick some up.
Yeah, that Rosa is now loaded for bear. Sammy heroin robe. Rosa can do with an Excal Cecil. You don't need anybody else.
No, Zoe here may actually be doing something here. Zoe might actually be stealing from these Mad Ogres. Yeah, what's Zoe stealing here?
So the Mad Ogres have wine on them, and we like wine. Bacchus Wines cast Berserk on the character who drinks it, and Berserk makes it so you can fight a lot and quickly and increases your stats while doing it. And yeah, ogres are the best place to get wine. Call them the Trader Joe's of the Blue Planet.
Yeah, sized and stopped and stole at least 2 to 3. I wonder how many Zoe's actually going to steal here. I think they could be in a shop. We've got 4 so far.
Yeah, hasn't checked out the Evelyn shop yet. A pretty decent chance they're going to be available in some kind of shop. By the way, one of the loot on the hook route, a free Leviathan.
Yeah, we did see a sparkle here at the ruby spot. So, Pale Dim, Plague, D-Lunars. Plague's free, though.
Yes, Plague should not be an issue at that spot, especially since there are Star Veils available, and also there are enough physical characters to do the just hit Tella and resurrect Tella a bunch of times strat. There's got to be a better name for that strat.
So there's the life of the life strat for Plague. But I'd say with this party, we've got 3 people that are relatively fast. We could get RA1 on everybody, which at that point you zerk up 2 people, and you can set your controller down, go get yourself a drink, because the count will never get past 0 as long as you have 2 people zerked up and they're RA1. It's a set it and forget it.
Also in the first spot, the flame doesn't take care of the back dolls. The virus will. No worries.
Yeah, so we can see here what the sparkle is. I definitely would shave before seeing the sparkle here.
I would too, but I'm a noted big coward. I'm glad to have I'm glad to have somebody of your stature, Tybalt, validate my cowardly feelings.
I mean, it all depends on the gear that we have. If I had maybe found some Dragoon gear, I'd go in, knowing what bosses are relatively could be here. Dragoon gear on Kane or Cecil, probably Cecil be cover Cecil, and I would go in. Because I've already seen Ogo Pogo. And it's Plague. It's free.
Zoe did get a whole bunch of wine, did not see the item that V got from those Mad Ogres.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
And that was an Excalibur, we are told by our restreamer, Harumph. So, 2 Excals in Evelyn Castle, and Zoe picking up the hovercraft wants nothing else to do. Got the Holy Sword, got the wine, and got out.
Yeah, I think having that wine, especially with this book route, huge pickup.
Beauty gonna try and make sure that everybody is RA1, even if Beauty can't do that. Has set up the life strat effectively.
Yeah, as people get down here to 0, they will starting to take a nap here. And here the count gets refreshed. Ah, such a good song.
Zoe did not see if V picked up that Leviathan. I don't think V did.
V no longer has Rhea.
Yeah. And not going to make the long trip back to Mysidia for her. Did pick up some of those Sammy arrows.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy arrows are going to be great. The other thing is Plague here. Plague's flying. So Rosa with the Sammy arrow, Heron roll, do a lot of work here.
That last one, 1,800 damage. Another 1,200, just casual.
Just a matter of getting everybody zerked up here, because like you said, we do get that 25% attack boost.
I always imagine like how gross it would be if that arrow got stuck in Plague's eyeball. Like what kind of liquid is back there?
Now I've got that image stuck in my head. Thank you very much.
Well, that's why you run out of arrows, because nobody's gonna run over there and pick them back up.
And Plague is starting to crumble. One of the slowest crumbles around.
Yeah, you would think a floating thing would crumble more quickly. Gravity would help it out, but no.
No, it's because of all the numbers that are on the field that just make it slower.
And BeautyInDiscovery through that Plague is going to hit his pitfall at 3110.
Yeah. Really good time on this flag set.
It really is. Gonna check out who is at the top of the tower. That's a blue robe. That's required.
Well, we haven't seen... Oh, no, it is. Either way. Either way it is required.
Yep. Water Hag is a required boss. All Gauntlet is a required boss. Keyless Tower definitely in play.
Yeah, I don't think we do Keyless Tower this early. Now, here's why. We've got some checks still before us for a possible tower dwarf with the warp glitch, Feymarch freebie. Going there with the tower key is a little more for efficiency's sake. Yeah, we could go straight up to the tower key, right in the tower, forget about the tower key. But being able to single dip an area and never have to come back to it?
It's the dream. BeautyInDiscovery did start off with 2 sirens, going to use at least one of them here. Love this to just get a few levels on everyone. You know this is your party. Grind early, grind often, and it really pays to have a couple levels on to take care of some things in the underground.
Yeah, definitely at least Cure 3 on Rosa, and I'm happy with the undergrounds, and it looks like Beauty is the same way of give me some better curatives than just a Cure 2. Because Cure 2 single target's decent, but you try to do it party-wide, and it does not do too well. Going to Dwarf here. Haven't seen either boss, because nobody made the Zot 1 check.
No, that's a kind of galaxy brain play, but it's certainly possible.
So it looks like it's some form of guards here, whether it's the... Oh, I think it's Baron Guards. Because if it was the... Nope, never mind. It's Kaipo.
Officer Soldier and the type of guards.
Yep.
And Zoe's Rosa, I'm not sure what the difference is. Not putting up quite as much damage, while Beauty's Rosa was doing 1200 on the low side to Plague. Zoe's Rosa is only getting up to 1200 on the high side.
Wonder if it doesn't have the heroin. Nope, never mind. Plus, it may
Bad
not
luck,
have
I
had
suppose. Just some bad rolls. There it is.
I was thinking maybe not have the heroin robe on, but it's like, nope, never mind. Only a couple minutes behind Beauty. Zoe is through the hook route.
That officer will retreat, taking a lot of the EXP with it.
Not too much experience here, though, anyway. So
but that's enough EXP to get Palom up to Warp, which is sneakily pretty good for efficiency's sake. Otherwise, you'd have to wake up the old man to cast Warp to get the second key item here.
And we see Odin here at the second spot.
Not bad at all.
No, just a simple Lit 2 and done. Going for a virus, though.
The 2 might take too much time. This spot only has 3000 HP, and Beauty is through.
We can see what our next 2 key items possibly are, if there are any key items here. Would you hope for key items to be here?
I mean, I am always hoping for key items to be here, but you know, we've had a paucity of key items so far. Why not keep that up, you know?
Even as long as possible, and you have to fight bosses on the moon just to get your items that gate all your bosses that you need. Yeah, I'm here for that. Zoe, a bit of a divergence here, going straight to Feymarch. Instead of going to Dwarf, you get to check 2 bosses here and a free key item.
Loot on the way.
I gotta be a little safe here, as there is one trapped chest here with the warriors.
What do you think V's looking for? You think V's looking for anything in particular?
Trying to think of anything V would need for this party. You know, first string, power shirt. No, power shirt I don't think would be here. Yeah, not entirely sure what V would be looking for here.
You need to pick up the pink tail from Luca, and another Excal from the Luca cave. So, 1 key item, no progression.
Another dart. We have another dart though. A great dart at that too.
Yes, very much so. That's a dart that you want to hang on to just in case you need to throw it at something big and ugly.
Rat tail. Vanilla rat tail. That's okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
wonder if
let's
he
go
may have
with it.
actually been picking stuff up for finances, buying things, being able to buy all the sirens or buying whatever here in the Feymarch that V wants
Yeah,
right
well,
away and never having to come back.
there are Bacchus wines down here, and it looks like V has 5 Bacchus wines in her inventory, and uh, that was a lot of time put in to get that many, and wants a stack of 10 more.
Yeah. If something like sirens were here or coffins or even like hourglass twos, being able to buy all 10 and just never having to come back to this shop if you need it later. Bacchus here, you're going to be wanting to slow down on the drinking of the wine to save some for later.
Beauty did show us that there were sirens for sale in Dwarf Castle, and Beauty picked up about 20 of them.
Ooh, 20. That's
Something like 18. That's some kind of Mylon and some kind of Sparkle. Haildin's
okay.
still lurking out there,
Well, let's
and
see.
Mylon Z is required. Mylon and Friends is not.
V here doing some interesting, just healing up Cecil. If
So
this is Mylon Z here, going for more of a cover strat with the Mylon Z or Mylon.
one of the items that V picked up on the way down, a crystal armor. So cover strat's certainly on the table.
Right, but that axe cow would do so much damage to Mylon Z. But it's just Mylon and friends.
Yeah. More trouble than it's worth at this point, maybe.
And we can see what the sparkle is here.
And Beauty and Discovery discovering that the blue robe is a top of tower gauntlet.
Ah, the moon gauntlet. Not gonna be here. And that's a blarg.
Larg. And this is a bit of a fade march. Oh, nice
Yeah.
curse ring pickup.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely. The thing with that Wyvern's blarg is it's too bad we cap out at quad 9 damage.
Yeah. The get as many reflects up as possible, but yeah, that wyvern hurts a lot. Coffins for sale in Tamra.
Yep. Definitely, looking for those sirens. Granted, we do have an edge, so we can steal them from eyeballs in the Tower of Babel, but don't want to do that. Zoe, checking the job door for us here.
Agricultural engineer, I believe.
That's a job.
Yeah. Definitely something you can't farm out. And Beauty going through this gauntlet, and this gauntlet kind of runs the gamut, so to speak. You've got stone men who are very kind of impervious, and you have tofu, which kind of soaks up magic. So just a really varied and annoying gauntlet up here. But the fight at the top of the tower is usually annoying anyway.
Yeah, so the tofu actually basically just absorb all physical. They have a super high physical defense, but are really weak to magic. So Beauty using the flame from Edge to get through the tofu fight, very top tier play there. Missed the key item.
It's the magma key.
Hey,
It's the magma key.
say the line.
That is what we found. Now we're filled with glee. Can't get underground. Now it takes a place in our item list. At least it's a key item. Uh-huh. It's not a sand ruby. Uh-huh.
And this flag set it's no longer called the Sand Ruby, it's now called the Sad Ruby. It's very sad.
So yes, I said the line. And 20 sirens for Zoe.
Yeah, I think the reason why we're buying 20 signs is that with the amount of PMs we found so far, I don't think, at least our runners are thinking, we're not going to hit 10. We're not going to be able to get the double experience. I want to get my grind done and over with 20 sirens and go from there.
Yeah, no guarantee you're gonna get a darkness crystal anytime soon either. D-Machine or Giant Grind probably not a possibility. Egg Grind seems like the most likely, and to do that most efficiently, you just gotta shell out the money to get those sirens.
Yeah. Zoe here checking Dwarf. Beauty following in the footsteps of where Zoe's already been by going down the Fey March, gets the rat tail.
Did you see what Zoe picked up for that edge in Dwarf Castle? A full moon. Edge's back road.
Yeah, so all of our major party members are back road. Yay!
And Beauty picks up an 11 pack of wine. I wonder what an 11 pack ring, plastic ring thing would look like.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard of the legendary 100 case, but I don't know about 11.
Yeah.
Usually it's 12 or 24, never 11.
Well, I guess when you sell them by the each, you can do special orders like that.
Yeah, is it where you buy the 12 pack before you leave? You already drank one.
Yes, that's your walking around wine.
Yeah, there we go.
Beauty gonna find the bad news of the non-requirements here.
So, to explain why we're so happy with the whole back row glitch, in most RPGs, as you can see, there's a front row and a back row. Everybody that's in the back row only does half damage and reduces the accuracy. However, in Final Fantasy IV, there was a bit of a bug, or as we like to call them, features. You stick a ranged weapon on anybody, and it sets a little flag that switches on, saying, "Hey, you could do full damage in the back row." However, it was not actually coded to turn that off. So you equip the ranged weapon, you're back road forever.
Yeah, and that set, for example, the full moon is a kind of boomerang that Edge likes to throw, and that does full damage from the back row. But if you take off the full moon and put on, I don't know, a ninja sword, the game doesn't remember that you ever took the full moon off. And so Edge can do full ninja sword damage from the back row. And that is what the back row glitch is referring to. It is still on in these Blue Moon flags. It can be turned off in Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. And in fact, in the sister tournament, the Red Moon bracket, the back row glitch is turned off.
Yeah, so reducing the amount of damage and really making it more of a puzzle in that harder flag set. Zoe, not doing top of tower.
No. I'm going to leave that behind for now, and we have a double exploding mountains here.
I mean, we know it's just the magma key up there. Now, I wonder, and we do have the packs. I wonder if it's a play to, hey, I know that boss is there. I can do it later and be in go mode from there. Even though it's a long walk up and down, trying to save that for later, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, the only issue I see is neither... did Zoe set up the Sheila 1 check?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So Zoe only has one check up here. And luckily that's going to pay off for her because that is an Earth Crystal. And that's a chain to take to its logical conclusion.
Yeah, and some Hanzo steel.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. Yeah, but okay, like I said earlier, usually under the 40-minute mark, we do the treasury. 46 minutes. Do we do the treasury with an Excal Masa in our party right now?
Yeah, there's not a ton that would help. Maybe some more armory type stuff. There's one strength ring, but it looks like it's time.
Yep. Everybody's favorite game.
Great Fat Treasury!
Another Excal. Sheila's got the goods.
Okay. Well, let's just talk about that treasury. This
Nice
party and defense out of 10.
Yeah, a lot of nice stuff for this party. Protect ring, black shirt, definitely gonna help. In case you need an Excal.
Avenger, Excal, power shirt, glass hats.
Yeah.
Like I said, talk about defense and this party out of 10. Those glass hats have amazing physical defense.
Yes.
And instead of just having
to miss out on
one,
them.
we have 2.
All right, so
3.
I'll set the over/under on number of chests opened by both runners for the rest of the seed. I'll set the over/under at 4.5. So
I'll do under that.
that's the 2 chests in the ribbon room for each.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'm trying to think of like the three other chests I would think of maybe looting. Not really.
Yeah, not even the ones you stumble over in like the Luca cave or something. Just
No.
You have to think you have everything you need, and it's time to get going here.
Yeah, we've almost got best in slot. There really isn't anything better that this party could really want. I mean, you do the minor upgrades, power shirt, dragoon lance, maybe another Masa or a Mura for the edge, but not much. Even then, it's pretty much.
The first to check out what's in the Maga Sister spot, it is the Antlion. Not going to be an issue.
Well, okay. Antlion, you have to go to Mysidia to get to your vacation home. I know this tower is super tall and it looks like it goes to the moon, but it doesn't, okay?
Yeah. How many towers would it take to get to the moon? You need at least, 2 or 3 more towers.
Right, it's like... we have those towers, they're just separate.
And Zoe threw very quickly.
Yeah,
Beauty
Zoe
will be right behind.
Yeah, Zoe not caring about, Tella being alive to get the experience here, has a curse ring, so... Ooh, time for pig meta!
Yes. What are we going to discover about the pigs? Remember, the first pig doesn't matter as much.
Yeah, it's the second pig, and I never have that list up for
No, neither
pig
do I.
meta.
We'll just fly by the seat of our pants, and I know you're usually well prepared for everything, but this is kind of standard operating procedure for me. Are those yellow ears?
Yeah, that's the pineapple pig, I think.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it's something that's has white on it, so I don't think it's gonna be a sparkle.
Could it be Goldas?
It's water hag.
And that is required. So Earth Crystal paying off.
Yeah, so it blew in the sprite. Yeah, the ears are at the very top of the pig, and it's It's always nice to see there's a few pigs that I know for sure, like the Void Pig
Yes.
or the Ghosty Pig are the two that I know.
Yeah. And the pig that says, "Hi, I lead to Mylon Z." That's a nice little sign. But that pig doesn't show up too often. And so Waterhag goes, "Arg." Anna shows up to deliver her speech. At least somebody gets to give a speech in this seed
Yeah. Besides a comedy night.
that we haven't seen yet. Maybe it won't be required.
Yeah, so Ver doesn't have the darkness crystal as it comes from Sheila.
Yes. He hasn't visited Fabul at all yet.
Oh, well, so going with what they call the river shred of hopefully finding the pan before doing that. Ooh, finds a twin harp.
What an interesting key item to pick up. And this is the second stop in a chain now. Do you keep going on that chain?
Yeah, I think in V's case we go check the twin harp. Because otherwise we've got Sheila, we've got Tapa Tower. We're already up here on the top of the blue planet. Might as well just go for it.
Yep. Make the fans happy as well.
Looks like Beauty deciding the same thing. Even though, like, on Beauty side, I'd be more willing to go to the moon. I've got the pass. I can see all the moon spots up there. And if it's going to be here on Earth, well, I've got the pass. I'm happy.
Yeah. And Beauty only needs 3 more bosses. There are 8 boss spots open with the Darkness Crystal in hand. 6 on the moon, 2 on the Giant.
Yeah, the Giant would be one of the spicier plays. A lot of experience in there. A long walk to get there.
And a long fight once you're there.
This is also true.
That Element's spot has the most HP of any spot, regular boss spot in the game. And there are quite a few enemies outstanding that can make your life miserable up there.
Yeah, like the Mega Sisters.
Ooh, fun!
Yeah, you think that spot has, the max health until you see the Mega Sisters. Then you're like, oh boy.
Or CPU.
Yeah,
that could be
CPU
fun.
as well, yeah. But,
Ooh, each runner has 1 non-metallic person up, and that Rosa's just too good. Dodges the coffin.
V has a ribbon on V's Rosa. Ribbon prevents against instant death. Oh.
Yep. And BeautyInDiscovery is about to allow Edward to steal the show. Play us a song, Bard.
It took me a little too long to actually figure out what that song was. The opera from Final Fantasy VI.
Yes,
Oh,
I hope everybody read the script and was able to sing along with the lyrics. Otherwise, you have to do that all over again, and both of our runners do not have time for that. But just a zonk of a check, Bahamut, and Rydia is too far gone to be of any help now.
I was about to say, so about that Rydia. Zoe going up it knows that it's going to be the gauntlet up here at the top of the tower. Going to be able to prep for that. It's an annoying gauntlet because there's really no fast way through it. Because half the fights here have high magic defense, the eyeballs and the golems or the stonemen, and then the other half is strong against physical. So it's just like there's no win.
So once Zoe takes down the gauntlet, Zoe will be at 4 bosses, but still not have a way forward. We know the way forward is through that darkness crystal at Sheila 1, but does Zoe make that play? The single key item check, you have to go around a lot of places, or does Zoe check the Fey March again after this and see what Wyvern and Mylon and friends have for her?
I'd almost think about checking Luca at this point beforehand. If we know we've already got the key item here, but we haven't seen the boss yet. And if we know our progression is either going to be through the Fey March or through Sheila 1, go for unknown information. We don't know the boss down there at Luca.
Yeah, I love that check. It's not as long as you think it is.
Yeah, it's only a minute down there to check the boss, and we have a warp caster to be able to warp out just as fast. That's someplace that you can't exit. Yay for storyline reasons.
Beauty making the giant play.
Yeah, this is a bit of an interesting play. I mean, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, only 8 key items, so not going to get the double experience. What if it's just to check the boss here? Because you're able to check the first boss.
Yeah,
maybe hoping for one of the bosses, and then go, okay, cool. I'm now just on 2 bosses, and the rule of statistics is the moon's going to have at least 2.
Yes, that's how the law of averages works. It'll be interesting to see if.
No, going for a D-money grind.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Even after picking up all those Bacchus, too. Or all those Sirens, I should say.
Question in chat it is, how do you get to the giant in a randomizer? In the vanilla game, you only get to the giant after you've been to the moon, after you pick up Fusoya from the moon. In the randomizer, once you get the darkness crystal and summon the big whale, there's a little soldier guy on the bridge of the big whale that you can just go to and say, hey, I want to go to the giant, can you take me there? And he'll take you there.
So there's actually, at least in this randomizer, there's actually a couple different NPCs that we've added. Two in the whale, and then there's one in Zod. So the 2 that are in the whale, one of them brings you to the giant. The other one tells you, hey, we've modified the whale. You can land anywhere. Because in the vanilla, you could only land on the very top flat surfaces on the moon and had to go through a whole bunch of tunnels. However, now you just land wherever. You can land right in front of the door of the Lunar Palace. And the other one is sitting right there at Zod. Says, hey, take me to Zod. And then if you walk right back out, you can warp right back down. There's a few different flags like Vanilla Giant.
Yeah, that's fun to explore. But Tybalt, Zoe did the gauntlet, and now you get to say the line.
Okay. He can get underground now.
Yeah! Tybalt said the line! Woo!
What a joyous thing!
Isn't it nice to be able to get underground? It's just a load off your shoulders.
Definitely.
So Zoe going to set up the Sheila 1 check at least. And, even if Zoe decides to clear out the entire underground here, definitely taking care of the Sheila 1 check beforehand. So this does not preclude revisiting the Fey March, although it might.
Yeah, it's hard to say. This is just... The bosses can be anywhere. We don't have a Baron key. We don't have a Tower key. And we're still looking for a massive amount of bosses. That moon has got to have a bunch of value on it at this point.
Yeah, that's the way the numbers are trending. BeautyInDiscovery did take care of the two beamers, Shane and Frank, and is now dealing with the machines. There's Daryl, and his other brother Daryl, and his other brother Daryl.
I didn't know the two beamers had names.
Sure.
I know the two dragons on the moon, Bimmy and Jimmy.
Yeah, everything has a name. You just gotta ask him.
I wonder what the magic number is here for Beauty.
Yeah, I haven't been counting how many he's been doing so far, because counting is math, and math on stream is dangerous. Counting is like the first math you learn.
Yeah. but counting is also hard.
Yes.
I mean, have you lost track of a deep money count in the middle of a deep money grind?
Never.
Neither have I. Never.
Never.
I've never done so many Tour by Maria slingshot to media. Never. It's fine.
So V does have the Darkness Crystal in hand, but is not going to leave a stone in the underground unturned. Is going to come back down and at least, you would think, take care of this Mylon.
Yeah? No, staying at the Marionette here. The fancy end.
Hope V gets rewards points for that, because it is pricey, but when you don't have cabins, it's what you gotta do.
Yeah. So looking here on Beauty, I'm thinking, judging by Pelham's HP totals, and looking at some other charts, might be doing what we like to call a 10 by 10, as we see as we've seen some life potions or some life spells being cast on an empty spot of where a D machine once was. What's going on there?
Huh. Well, what's going on is another one of those fun glitches that Final Fantasy IV has that Free Enterprise kind of incorporates, and that is whenever you kill either a ally or an enemy, their HP goes down to 0. They can get revived with a life potion, and the revival gets them back up to an HP level that is some multiplier times their vitality stat. Well, all enemies in the game have a vitality stat of 0, so 0 times any multiplier is 0. So if you cast life on an enemy, they basically resurrect with an HP of 0 and then die again. And that means you get credit for the experience of defeating that enemy again. So the life glitch allows you basically to get double the experience for killing an enemy.
So using one of those fancy little bugs that are in here, or features, not bugs. Beauty is done with the D-Money grind there. Didn't get Nuke on Palom.
Zoe did take care of that Wyvern, only got a black shirt. So Zoe will be dressed for next rock concert, but it's certainly not what we wanted.
Yeah, Rosa did a lot of work there in that fight with those Artemis arrows. And here's some guards for us. Some more free experience.
Yeah, one of the 2 remaining quote-unquote free bosses left, and a pretty good spot for them. We'll kind of finish up the grind. And, the guards took care of the very person you would want to, although Beauty is going to resurrect Tella.
I wonder if we'll see if does Pelham hit the stone here. Yep.
Yes.
No life 2 grinding. One of the spots we're actually doing something like a life 2. Actually, a lot of experience here. There's 100,000 experience here. So you can just get a ton of experience if you do life 2, because life 2 doesn't care what your vitality is. You get 100% of your HP back.
Yeah. Zoe checking out Mylon and the ghastly apparitions that accompany Mylon.
Dance party.
And that X-Cal doing real work.
Yeah. Gonna be through this fight here fairly quickly, because those gas don't like holy swords.
And is Mylon regular also weak to holy? I know Mylon C is.
No, he is not.
And Pale Dim in the CPU spot. Giant paying off for Beauty and Discovery.
That is spicy.
Yeah. Zoe might not make it up here. And gonna chuck one of those X-Cals at the Pale Dim. Try to avoid the slow counter as much as possible, which is prompted by the fight command.
Yeah.
So after this, Beauty will be looking for 2 more bosses. And let's see. How many boss spots does Beauty not have access to, I guess? Or knowledge, or access to, I should say, and that's 4 spots.
Yeah. Yep. Do it Baron, 1 at Tower Key, 1 at Package.
Yeah.
We already know one of the bosses is Baron. Yeah.
Yep. That's a turtle that started the game off by handing us a Sammy. Oh.
That's right. Beauty has Luca as well, but has not checked it.
Right. Neither runner has checked the Luca key, but both runners have access to it.
And so we'll see what we get here from the Mylon and Friends fight.
Ooh.
Just a white spear.
Gain'll like it. But
Well, I don't know.
he won't like
a
it
lot of
that much.
Yeah, a lot of Kane's weapons have terrible accuracy. So arguably the defense sword's just a tad bit better until you get them to like level 70, and then the spears are better, of course.
Sure.
But that accuracy, having so much of it on the defense sword, just gives you a better average of damage output.
So Beauty gonna switch out characters here. I think Beauty wants a better anchor.
Yeah, Telly getting a lot of levels there, and going for the Rydia here, base level Rydia.
Yep.
The best anchor, as makes everybody RA1, even Fu. Because she's slow.
Yeah, level 1 Rydia, she takes a long time to do things.
Yeah. It's hard to get kids to do things.
Yeah. Except for summoning Titan. She does that pretty quickly.
Yeah. But we will see if Zoe ends up going up to the moon or goes for the moon dive.
You're going to check Cave Bahamut first. A fairly quick walk. You get to check out who the boss is before you fight it, unlike all the other spots in the LST. And we call it Cape Value because there's always value in Cape Bahamut.
Oh, yeah, always value.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 guaranteed fights in here that a lot of experience. That's value, right?
Sure. Except you don't have to fight the behemoths on the way down. That's nice.
No, you don't. That's a
Ooh,
karate man.
And that is a big nope. Karate hurts there.
Yeah, it hurts, but we've got free. We've got Cecil.
That's true.
We just zerk him up or throw the Avenger on him and hope he doesn't get hit.
And
We'll
while
fight real
our runners are making the walks to their moon checks, do want to re-welcome everybody. This is Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise here on RPG Limit Break. It is a randomizer. These runners are in the 3rd round of our latest tournament, Highway to the Zemus Zone 5, the Blue Moon Waning bracket. And both runners looking to win this race to advance to the 4th round to face Ninja 81. My name is Sheep Launcher, and here in the booth with me is Tybalt. Our tracker is Dubword47, and our restreamer is Harumph. We're glad to have them along with us doing all the hard work. We're glad to have you along with us, keeping us company. And Beauty and Discovery finds the Dark Imps. So that's the last quote-unquote free boss, and it's not required. Beauty and Discovery with 5 bosses, only needs 2 left, is in full face check mode.
Yeah, just gonna want to face check those, and then it comes down to, okay, out of the bosses I've seen, which ones can I do the fastest, or which ones, we'll probably end up doing the ribbon room first because it's 2 possible key items sitting in there.
Yeah, it looked like Beauty and Discovery started with the top, very reasonable play when you're only looking for bosses, but now probably going to go to the bottom of the LST because that's where the bosses are.
Yeah, 3 down there, and then we have another one along the way, which most people, even myself, I missed it in vanilla.
Yes. Yes, because every single secret passage in the game was marked, except for that one.
Yeah, except for that one. And you're like, how do I get over there? How?
How? It looks like a big pit in between. How do you get over there?
Yeah, did you just like jump or something like that? And here we go, right there.
Right there.
That little 3 squares. Ah! And then you don't get the best item in the game, though, the crystal sword.
Right. Right. Even float didn't help you get across it, but
No, it didn't.
you can walk.
Catch me a break. Let me get over here.
So
Oh,
Beauty
100%.
Beauty and Discovery currently ahead by 1 boss. Our runners need to defeat 7 of 8 bosses in order to get the crystal. That crystal allows them to defeat the big boss at the end, Zeromus. Beauty and Discovery ahead by 1 boss because Beauty and Discovery has done the giant, and that's where Pale Dim was. And that's
Baron
a
key.
big 8-8. So Zoe taking on that karate fight, taking Karate Man down and gets a big key item, and that might be worth chasing.
Yeah, we haven't left for the LST yet. You have to go through a fight before you can check those 2 bosses behind the Kanazo.
And Zoe still has 3 bosses remaining. It's a tough call.
Yeah, it's a super tough call. But I mean, if you're feeling behind and you think your opponent's been up here on the moon longer than you have, you gotta chase it.
So we're not going to chase it just yet. Going to pilot the moon. At least going to check the shop first.
There's Val.
All of the elements having a party. Val right next to Ruby.
Are we gonna have a We're gonna have Mylon Zia here at the Moss Altar for a full elements party.
You know, I know a lot of places are returning to work, and if the elements are all hanging out in their offices, that would make sense.
Won't their office be their vanilla location though?
No, they go there for special trips, and that's required. That's an Octoman.
Well, you know what that tells us? Seeing all these bosses up here, and only find just Octomom.
It means there's a key item out there that's gating a boss. Could be that Luca key, but you
Be the tower key package.
might have to. Yeah,
Or,
you
or
might have
Baron
to.
could be getting both.
You might have to start hunting for key items.
And that's always a difficult choice of you're on the moon. If I find a key item that gates a boss, do I chase it?
Yeah. And Zoe, not in face check mode as BeautyInDiscovery wasn't, and you're seeing kind of the choice that you have to make. When you're at 5 bosses, that's kind of the really in-between spot. 4 bosses, easy. You take on any fight that's doable up here. 6 bosses, easy. You're in full face check mode. 5 bosses, if you go in full face check mode and you only get 1, suddenly you have some reconsidering to do. It's something with a little bit of a downside.
So here, getting through the dims fairly quickly, using coffins on every single one of them. A J item that was only in the Japanese release. We've re-added a lot of those items in the randomizer.
It's Cure 4 on Rosa with the help of those with life glitches and... Oh, that's big.
That's a big stick. However, it's really not going to help out with the Octomom here, because Octomom is resistance to the Crystal Sword.
Yeah, but there's
got the
only
Crystal Sword.
so much resistance you can have to a Crystal Sword.
Just the Tiara.
So, not a key item, and now Beauty has a choice to make. Take on
Yeah.
some other of these bosses, retreat to the blue planet, and go for that Fey March. Check out Luca boss.
I'd think about doing Ribbon Room here. And go from there. Take on the Vow, grit your teeth, and decide from there. You get a tower key or you get tower key and package. I'm going back to Earth.
Yeah. And that is what BeautyInDiscovery is going to do. 2 key item checks.
Gonna be a long fight. You can't cast magic on Val here. She is immune when she's in her tornado.
And Beauty does not have Kane.
Yeah, so it's just gonna be Cecil and Edge doing work here.
Yep. Time to tell them to chug all the wine they got.
Yeah, and it's gonna take a little bit. I mean, I don't think you put any equipment on Palom and have him zerk up. I think it's just let him take a nap. You know, rest him up before the end game.
Yeah. I mean, all he can really do while he's up is maybe throw some cure potions around.
That's about it. But you know, being an extra target is
Yeah.
about it.
But while Val is in her spin form, she doesn't punch as much.
No, she doesn't. If you take her out of her spin, she hits you a few times.
Yes.
But as long as we've got some blinks up, we're pretty safe here. Gonna take a little bit, but we'll get there. Zoe taking on the bomb here. Rosa takes a punch to the face and ow.
Yeah. Yeah, Mom Bomb very punchy at this spot. So this spot in the vanilla game had a Wyvern, and Wyvern does not do physical attacks. So with most of the spots in the game where an enemy does not do physical attacks, the programmers just, turn that knob up to 11. Why not?
Well, let's have some fun with it. Let's stick Bahamut. Let's give a Bahamut huge attack. Even though he doesn't physically attack, let's just give it to him.
Yeah, why not? Never gonna use it.
Another ribbon there from Crystal Sword Altar. And welcome in everybody from Free Enterprise.
You've missed 5 Excaliburs.
Yeah.
Free Enterprise.
And a Crystal Sword.
And the Crystal Sword just came down. Zoe has it. Beauty does not. This seed is gating at least one of our required bosses behind key items that we have not discovered yet. Beauty and Discovery is up 2 bosses on Zoe at the moment. Did Pale Dim at the CPU spot, which Zoe has not visited the Giant yet, and has taken down Octoman at the Ogopogo spot. But Beauty and Discovery has checked everything on the moon, has face-checked everything on the moon, and is now going back to try and uncover some key items. Both runners have a Luca key. Neither runner has checked that boss.
Yeah. Zoe has gotten the Baron key from Kate Value, which had Karate, and has been taking every single boss fight top down on the moon.
Yeah, Zoe going to leave no stone unturned here. Beauty going back up to Dark Imps will get the Baron key, and I imagine...
Oh, we get the Crystal Sword here.
Oh, you're right. The Baron key was from the Karate Man and Cave Value. My mistake. And you see how we call Dark Imps free. They punch hard up on the moon.
Yeah, Pale Dim hits a little hard. But getting rewarded that Crystal Sword. Beauty's got to feel really happy going, I have a Crystal Sword. I have a hidden stick. I mean, Excal's great, but Crystal Sword, so much better. Even though you're supposed to give it to the Chocobo.
Beauty going to go back to Cave Value. Oh, that's a super interesting.
Yeah. There's gonna be... I don't know how Zoe's feeling right now. If he feels behind or if he feels ahead.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. Zoe being very thorough here, and it's you don't want to analyze anybody. Beauty and Discovery faked us out. Not going to head to Cave Value after all. Going to return to the Blue Planet. Does have Fey March checks, which we know is nothing, and does have the Luca key check.
Yeah, just on one boss spot. I'd almost would say going to Luca first, as that's an unknown boss.
Yes.
Versus going to a location where you know that it's just 2 bosses and a key item. Possibly. So I like this play from Beauty. If it's nothing, you're then probably going to do Fey March and hope for one of the gating key items.
Going to give a lot of time back to Zoe. Because Zoe's already made those checks and come up empty.
Yeah, the only thing that Beauty has ahead is that Pale Dim at CPU. If Zoe goes to the Giant, I think it kind of swings back over into Beauty a little bit.
Even though there's a required boss up at the Giant.
Yeah, even though there's a boss there, because I think if Beauty finds, the Baron key, probably immediately leaves the moon and goes straight there to Baron, and let's say the boss is there. Zoe would have to do the same. So I think it's a hard call to say who's exactly in the lead, and it always is in these races.
And it can turn quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So Beauty not even opening any of the chests that you kind of stumble over. Going to immediately, because Beauty already got the item from that cave, going to immediately find it's a comedian. It's Golbez.
All right,
Big play here.
we're in no mode / go mode.
Go mode. It's complete go mode, and in fact, Beauty's been in go mode for the last half hour without knowing it.
Yeah, the Axel Spoon from the well, okay. Well, I say that we're in no mode because we know where it is. Zoe doesn't. However, Beauty is in full go as soon as he gets through this Golbez. It has the pass.
The ribbon room was like, "Oh, I heard your Edge wanted to throw stuff. How about these? These are nice to throw."
Yeah, definitely. Spoon, always a great dart. Quad 9 damage on anything. Yeah. Zoe gonna be finding Octomom here.
Golbez here still an issue, even with this party at these levels, just because this spot is so fast.
Well, not that it's fast. It's yeah, that's a 3,000 lit 3.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
2005. Yeah, Magic Gear is quite high.
Yes, but Edge was able to. The fact that 3 members of Beauty's party were able to survive helped out. Gave Edge time to put up that Star Veil, and Edge is going to hack Golbez into bits, and Golbez is left asking the question.
Why? Because you're long. Fight. That's why.
Yeah. If Golbez ever wants to make it as a journalist, he's going to have to learn to ask more questions.
Yeah. Just why is never enough.
No. You got the 5 W's in 1H.
Yep.
But Beauty and Discovery going to raise the boy to warp us out of here.
And most of those W's are baseball players.
Zoe takes care of the calamari.
Yep. And it comes down to I think Zoe goes to Baron after this.
Yeah, if
Has
Baron,
that Baron key.
well, Baron cannot contain both of the bosses that Zoe would really need to get back in this race.
No, but
so-
may have one, and then
Yeah.
it comes down to where do you go next.
Yeah,
And I think it would be Luca.
but Beauty definitely in the driver's seat here.
All right, looks like we are going probably straight to Troy. No need for a grind. We've got Crystal Sword, Power Shirt, Cecil. We've got Edge. We've got Kane. We've got
And have Kane.
power overwhelming.
Yeah. Look, hybrid strats might be on the table here, although you have a Crystal Sword Cecil, you have Edge with Hanzo Steel, and lots of things to dart. But, you got Nuke on the kid. That always helps.
Yeah. And look at those sirens sitting in the inventory. 19 sirens, just never used. I guess you should spend your money sometime. But it looks like we're doing something here.
Yeah,
And then-
we're
and there's
running back to the moon through a door in Troya. That's neat.
Yeah, there's some flags and shit. Is it nap time? I think it's a little too early for a nap, but I'm willing to take a
No,
nap.
we have to save the world. Why does everybody keep asking if we could take a nap? Like, seriously, people, did you not get enough sleep last night? We have to
Naps are
save the
so good.
world. We can't move Zeromus around because Zeromus, the final boss of this game, is just too big too smelly, just too much. So Zeromus has got to be at the end. But, this is a randomizer, so we got to randomize him. And that leads us to ask a question, and Tybalt, I'd be honored if you did.
Yeah, so in the words I think it came from a draw, who's Zerker, or whose twerker are we gonna Zerker?
In the name of the Blue Moon, we will be dismantling whom?
Yeah, there's this crystal gets thrown around. Yeah, I always think it'd be interesting to see Zeromus there at, like, Mist Cave.
Yeah.
Finish the game and he's just right there.
Yeah, my personal favorite is, like, the second spot in Baron Inn. Like, oh, how could you hide there? Beast deck us.
This is a new one to me.
Yeah.
Not sure which game this is from.
Me neither. It looks like some kind of action figure.
Yeah, like it's like, and I hate to say it's like like a Gundam or a Transformer. Don't throw newspapers at me, Evangelion fans, please don't.
The nuke cast from Zeromus, a little unlucky going on to Rosa, but Beauty gonna patch it up pretty quickly.
It looks like it is from a game called Mischief Makers.
That's us. That's me and Tybalt.
Yeah.
We're the
Looks
makers
like
of Mischief.
Yeah.
And the dreamer of dreams.
Zoe finding these 6th boss here of Pale Dim.
And that Big Bang, not as effective as it usually is, because when you direct cast magic onto Zeromus or throw an item on him, Zeromus does a counter nuke, and especially on the first turn, you can pretty much count on that counter nuke kind of sapping Zeromus's magic power, nerfing that Big Bang. So 4 of the party members stay up. Rydia does not, but Rydia has done her job by keeping Zeromus slowed down and our allies sped up.
Yeah, being able to know your party order for the end game is so essential. We always say, even for some of the best runners of this game, this fight can go sideways very quickly. Even with our levels and the equipment we have, things can still go sideways.
Yeah, Zeromus is the final boss for a reason. It does a lot of damage, and can really upset the apple cart pretty quickly. But Beauty looks to be in control at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you got Cecil swinging that sword for 5k every swing. Definitely doing a bunch of damage here. And this boss fight has some 120,000 health, because they wanted to make it a really, really heavy HP boss. But limitations back then, it was only up to 65k. So halfway through, they put in a refill script. So you have to fight through 40,000 HP, and then he refills, and you have to do it all over again. Yay.
And a new caster, a white caster, and 2 swingers, and that is it. BeautyInDiscovery has done it. Takes this one in a time of 1:35:32 and moves on to the 4th round in the Blue Moon Waning bracket. Will take on eNinja81 in the 4th round. And we are joined by our winner tonight, BeautyInDiscovery. GG's.
Thank you very much. What a seed.
Yeah, so how'd you feel about that?
At the beginning, felt amazing. Felt like I was running pretty good. Getting underground and getting through the hook route at 31 minutes was great. But towards the end there, it was getting a little hairy. So I'm glad it came together. I'm glad my memory finally struck and I remembered I had not run Sealed Cave.
Yeah, value being there. And we saw you. You went to the giant and you started doing a D machine grind, and you had already previously bought in sirens. Uh, Give us a little more into why you decided to go with the D machine grind.
So I bought the sirens thinking to myself, okay, if I find hourglasses, I can do dragons. If I get 10 key items, I can do eggs. But when I when I didn't have either one of those and I had darkness in hand, I thought to myself, okay, I bought the ethers. I know I can go up there, do a D mission grind, and plow through the giant and get through both of those bosses, which turned out to be a good move because Pale Dim was in CPU spot. So I feel pretty good about it, but there was just a little part in my mind that I'm like, I feel like this will be faster than cracking eggs pre 10 key items. Not sure if that's correct, but it's how it played out.
Another option you may think about is sirens are also good for summoning warlocks on LSD4. If you have an RA1 Rosa to cast Mute, they really won't do much.
Interesting. Yeah, Warlock grind is not one I have really gotten used to at all.
Right. Just some ammo for the future.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But you had 5 bosses when you decided to clear the moon, and you were in full face check mode. You did find an Octomam up there, but were you panicking a little bit when check after check revealed no bosses that you needed?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I started to sweat when I saw Ruby. Was absolutely drenched when I saw Val, and just had some relief when I saw Octoman. But that's why I went back and took the Val, and then went back and took those dimps too, because I'm thinking to myself, I need to find a tower key, a package, a Baron key, hopefully. And it was about the time when I was getting ready to go over to Bahamut Cave when I realized, wait a minute, I have a Luca key and I've not been there. And so that's when I turned around and kind of did a little bit of a throw a Hail Mary, because heaven knows where the rest of my key items were. And looking at the scroll, seeing Baron was in Bahamut Cave with no value behind it, I would have been in absolute trouble if I had actually taken K value.
Yeah, as we see, Zoe right now going down in and doing that full Baron check. And seeing that, yeah,
finding
it is
no
completely
bosses.
empty.
Yeah, no, it's a rough one, because Baron Key traditionally in this flag set has a lot of value. With 3 boss checks, a main key item, and a summon key item, you're likely to find some kind of value there. So I absolutely would have immediately went there. And who knows when I would have remembered Luca Key at that point.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Sheep, you got anything?
So, what do you think of the fact that the Seed really wanted you to have Excalibur throughout the entire time?
When I saw the second one, I had to chuckle, because I'm like, man, if you could just give me one crystal sword, that would be awesome. But, thank goodness we had an edge, so at least they had value. And certainly it was pretty valuable at that Pale Dim spot, just immediately chucking it right at it. I knew that, that's a punchy spot and it's going to be difficult to get through. So having one of those was pretty clutch in that moment. Yeah.
And in fact, you found your Excal in the Stoneman skeleton fight in Castle Evelyn. Guess what was behind the Mad Ogres in Castle Evelyn?
Ooh.
Another Excalibur.
Okay. I thought you were going to say Crystal Sword. I'm like, man. But you know what? Excal good enough. And at that point, I'm thinking to myself, I've got what it takes. I can get underground with this. Which, speaking of getting underground, that plague got a little hairy there. When Cecil went down, I kind of wasn't sure. I was like, wait, I thought it was 3 berserkers that will clog the queue, and I was really worried there for a second, but by the skin of my teeth got through.
So to give you clarification, it's 2 RA1 Zerkers is the minimum. And if you have just one, you need a whole day to get through it. But having multiple RA1 actors is where that comes into play. So if you had had your base level ready at that point, you would have been able to just Zerk up Cecil and Edge and set your controller down.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, thank goodness I had, that base level, because when I saw HP run out on the Siren, I'm like, ooh, uh-oh. But I think I'd already panic queued up an attack on it anyways, because I just wanted to get done, and that D machine was not going well. I just wanted to get it over with.
So you really played well tonight and fully deserve your entry into the fourth round. Next up is a pink puff battle between you and E Ninja. How are you feeling about your play and how your tournament's going so far?
Definitely nervous. I mean, was very nervous to go up against. So, V is, an amazing runner. So it was really nerve-wracking, but I'm just as nervous to go up against E-Ninja because he wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't good enough to be there. So I feel like, it was kind of a rough seed. I could have improved in many places, and I feel like I'll probably get exposed by E-Ninja if I don't tighten it up.
You have to change anything?
Mainly just remember that stinking Luca key. That's the biggest thing. I feel like when I get nervous in these races, I tend to forget one of those kind of lesser, uncommonly taken checks like that. Maybe package. Heaven forbid the time I forgot Hobbs. That was pretty embarrassing. So I think that's the biggest thing there, and I guess maybe tightening up my D machine, because that was the one thing I was fearing. And then here I was faced with the potential of doing it, and I went and did it, and sure enough, it was pretty sloppy. So I think maybe practicing that, so that if you get a Tele, you get an early darkness, I feel much more comfortable executing.
Well, you showed a lot of skill, as I said, and you fully deserved your win tonight. So GG's and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much to the entire Restream crew, Sheep and Tybalt for commentary, Harump for the Restream, and Dubword for pressing those buttons. Wouldn't have a show without y'all, so thank you very much for your time and effort putting this together.
We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't have anything to cast without the runners.
Touche. Well, thank you so much, and y'all have a good rest of your night.
Well, looks like Zoe mopped up Golbez there and is now headed towards Zeromus, the final boss.
Yeah, there are some enemies that it just feels good to vanquish wherever they are in the game, and Golbez is one of them.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how your race has been to this point. You go up against a Golbez, like I'm going to defeat you, and I'm going to feel good doing it. And Zeromus is another one of those as well.
Yeah, and it's always good for some people. It's like you find a boss that has always given you trouble in the past, just to be able to just sit there and go, "You've given me troubles in the past." Even though you're at Mist Cave, I'm going to whack you with a crystal sword at level 80 because I can.
Yes. Yeah. Fantasy 4 free enterprise runners would literally rather hit things with crystal swords than go to therapy.
Hey,
Well, Zoe is going to take on this Zeromus, and we'll be cheering for her on. Zoe, the head engineer of Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, one of the most talented runners in this community. Didn't work out for Ver tonight, but you saw Ver skill and Ver perseverance, and V is going to really put a hurting on this scene.
Yeah, I mean, helping out with the development of this game, I know has made some of the patch updates that we've seen. One of the ones was the back row glitch, and some of the other glitches, fixing those, making it, at least with some of the flags that we decided to run, a little more difficult, which, I like being able to have a versatile style randomizer to make it either as easy or as hard as you want to.
Yes, definitely. There are so many ways to customize this game. It really gives new runners an in to checking it out. It gives experienced runners challenges. You can kind of turn the difficulty way up, or if you just want to hit stuff like I do, you just make it so that you can just find stuff to hit stuff with.
Exactly. Cecil's taking the counter nuke there, just shrugs it off like nothing.
Yeah. Tella doing what Tella does, and doing a Cure 4 to heal Cecil up.
Hey, if Dell's gonna do anything besides a nap, it's to do a Cure 4, because it doesn't matter what your stats are, it full heals you regardless.
Yeah,
You
no,
may-
Cure
Good.
4 on a single target is refills your HP. That's it.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
You could have 1 willpower, and it would still do full HP.
Now that is more willpower than I have around a bag of chips. It really is.
Yeah, I could see. I'm kind of the same way, especially if it's like sour cream and onion Pringles with the original Pringles.
Yeah. Yeah, salt and vinegar for me. Ugh.
Not a big fan of salt and vinegar.
You don't enjoy really challenging your taste buds, I guess.
No, I've done that with ghost pepper seasoning, so I'm good.
Zoe getting the shake. This Z not long for this world or for any other world. Rocks falling.
Yeah, there's the rocks. It should be too much longer. Who's gonna get the final hit? Cecil or Kane?
What's Cecil?
Yeah.
And Zoe has done it with a time of 1:47:40. GG's to Zoe. We'll have her in for a quick interview.
GG's once again to Zoe. It's a heck of a race.
Yeah, a tournament of highlights for Ver. Defeated Dr. Cossack before falling into the Waning bracket, and now unfortunately Ver's tournament is over, but it was a nice tournament for Ver. Well, while we're waiting on Zoe, do want to remind you that there is more free enterprise going on, and that is a public service announcement. We'll get there eventually, but we are joined by ZoeVermilion. GG's.
Thank you.
Have a run.
Yeah. What did you think of that seed overall? It was a seed with not a lot of key items going for it early.
Probably the worst seed I've played the entire time.
I mean, you did. I mean, you had the underground. You were, it looked like you were feeling great. And a quick question for you: you went to the moon. You look at for as many bosses. I think you're up to looking for 4 bosses. Was there any thought of just face checking the bosses and then going somewhere else, or just I'm going to clear every single boss spot?
Our key and package were still outstanding. I can't. I'm looking for 4 bosses. I can't leave stuff outstanding like that.
Okay.
Like if I was looking for 3 bosses, yeah, I would face check. It's what I did in my first 2 races. It's what I did in all my practice. But there's just too many bosses there, and had Golbez not been in Sealed Cave, I would have needed 1 of Tower Key or package. Like there was only 3 boss spots left.
Yeah, that was true. If the Baymarch had anything, this kind of would have been a different race. Did you feel behind after the Baymarch came up empty?
Oh, absolutely. I was looking to try and get to 10 key items or at least find something, and I come up with 2 whiffs, and at that point I go, okay, I'm done. And then I feel doubly done after I finally get the Darkness Crystal from Sheila 1, because I was putting that off trying to find either the Tower Key or the Pan. So, yeah. Just by that point I was ready to throw in the towel.
Ooh.
Well, you did start off the tournament with a bang, defeating Dr. Cossack, but unfortunately, your tournament is over here. What are you going to remember about the flags and about the way you ran in this tournament?
I'll withhold. I'll have some feedback for post tournament. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, well, I hope you had half as much fun running this as we had watching you, because it was really a heck of a show. So we're appreciative not only of your running, but for everything you do for the community. So thank you for a great show tonight. And Tybalt, do you have any more questions for Zoe?
I don't actually. I normally do, but I don't at this time. My memory fails me.
Thanks for putting on the show, and hope you'll have a great night.
Yeah.
All right, so there is more free enterprise tonight. In fact, we're going to take you there right now. We have Sorbius versus IB Karma on free enterprise 2. So no spoilers about what went on in this game. But before we go, want to thank our restreamer Harumph, our tracker, Dubward47. Terrific job tonight as usual. And Tybalt, thanks for joining me. You were also terrific.
Yeah, not a problem there, Sheep. Always a pleasure to do comms with you.
And we are going to head over to Free Enterprise 2. And we'll see you all over there. And until next time, so long.
Yeah, no spoilers. We have a bunch of newspapers, bonks, we all know the drill.